welcome to Podcast vs. Player, episode 219. I'm one of your hosts, Carl, and as always, I'm joined by a man who accused me of making up famous quotes. Well, in the words of Mother Teresa, the cunt can fuck right off. Who saw some crocodiles got together to write parody songs. It's a pun croc band. It's only bloody Dan.
Bing, hello.
Hello. Are you not ill?
No, apologies. 219 should have gone up 2 weeks ago. However, I was clean for 2 years, mate. Not heroin.
I was going to say, wait, what's this about?
I managed to avoid coronavirus like the plague as it was. And yet, it just completely caught me off guard. I think I got it from someone on a train on the way back from the Midlands back to Manchester. I think some fucker on a train gave it to me. Because I was with pretty much my whole family. And none of them got it. And like we were like at a country club together, and we got to like an escape room, so we were all sort of like in together and that. And then I got back on the Sunday. On the Monday, I felt a bit. Oh God, I'm not sleeping properly. By the Tuesday, I was an absolute fucking mess. Yeah. Like work sent me home. They were just like, "You're clearly not well." And then I got home, did a COVID test, and it was just like positive right out of the gate, and it wiped me out for like 4 days, man. It was fucking brutal. So I couldn't talk. I couldn't eat. I didn't eat for like 2 days because I couldn't physically. So yeah, it was fucking brutal. So apologies that I couldn't do a podcast, but I definitely had better things to do.
After you'd been here the other week, I found your mask in the back of my car. I was like, you probably would have needed this.
Oh, that's where it went. Because I've got a pack of other ones because I don't think I wore it on the way down, maybe I can't remember, but I got a new one out because I was like, I don't know where the other one's gone. Now I know. Okay, that's fine. It's
like the irony of like, because it was like a week or so later I found it, and then I got the text and like, I got fucking COVID. I was like, no wonder I've got your mask.
Did you burn it immediately? Like, infection.
Nah, I put it on. I sleep with it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's one of them. Like the odds of getting it now were pretty damn high. Like it was spreading like wildfire when there was a lot of restrictions in place, and now there's none because it's not a real thing and it doesn't exist.
As soon as Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, COVID was gone. That was it. Everyone forgot. And then Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
I'm still clean.
Good for you, mate. I really like because I know that there's obviously severity levels, and like if you've been jabbed and stuff, it does apparently lessen the effects and stuff like that as well.
But you have been jabbed and
twice
boosted, and
no, I didn't
still knocked you on your ass. Oh, you haven't had the booster? I've had one.
No,
I had one of the boosters.
Yeah, maybe I should. If they're still offering them out, maybe I'll do them.
I think you have to pay now, don't you?
Oh, do you? I'll forget it then. I mean, I know that I've had it and it's awful, but it's I can pull out the other side and it's fine. So it's for the people who have got like comorbidities and stuff like that, I get why that would hospitalise you. Yeah, like if you've just got anything else that could fuck with. It's
Zoe was really bad when she had it.
Not pleasant. Yeah, I bet she was. Yeah. But
she's weak as shit. So
yeah, but I think like so I was supposed to go to Birmingham that weekend that I got it and spend like a couple of days meeting up with a couple of people that I haven't seen in a while, and there's like a cool like arcade thing in Birmingham that you can like I don't know, pay like a tenner or whatever and you get like tokens in like a cup and then you can just put them in like arcade machines and like proper arcade machines, not fucking grabbers like or claws. Whatever. Yeah, like Blackpool, that's not an arcade machine. Learn. So yeah, I had to cancel that whole thing because like I was feeling much better. I mean, I'm feeling about 50% better than I did then, and I was feeling about 1,000,000% better than I did at the start of the week. But I was still testing positive, and I was just like, do you know what? I feel all right. I'm not fucking risking it though. Like, think about it. I'd be getting on a train then I'd be meeting someone where we're going for lunch, and I'm in Birmingham, so probably going around the ball ring and that. Then meeting up with someone else who's got kids that are with him from Singapore. Then going to like an arcade. Like it's just groups of people on groups of people on groups of people. That's like, I'm not going to be the guy that I've
thing is, though, that's how you got it.
2 years.
Because instead of like you go in, like let's think logical. It's still fresh. I'm still contagious. I'm not going to bother. Bob has gone, fuck it, and then just gone out, and that's how you've got it.
Yep. So Bob, fuck you. Because
all the Bobs.
You ruined that fucking weekend. I was looking forward to that for so long. It's fucking well annoying, but it's the price you pay for being a good boy.
It is. It's one of those, unfortunately, mate. And you did the right thing. Now, what other good things that have happened, Dan, is obviously you were here the other week. We recorded a bunch of stuff, including Cal's Strange New Worlds and a bunch of retro shenanigans, another of which will be going up later this week. I found a second folder of ones that we didn't do the last time.
What? So there's more games?
There was more that I had forgotten. I had forgotten about, and then
wait. Not games. You're talking about recordings that we made that you haven't.
No. Games. I mean,
right. I was going to say that is a big fuck up, you idiot. Like how you've gotten to do like.
So obviously, always we go through the bag that we got from CX, and look, as long as people believe it, it's fine.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah.
We basically there's a folder with all the ROMs and ISOs and everything else, and normally I'll just go retro new, and then these are the new games. I'd had a tidy up of my hard drives and stuff, and I've obviously just moved that folder into a different one. Right. And then on Monday yesterday, I was having a sort about just deleting some stuff, and then I came across a folder with like loads and loads of old ones. I was like, I don't need that anymore, delete that. And then I found this other folder when I haven't played any of these. So next time you come, I've got some pre-ready.
Yeah, I was going to say, are these like ones that we'll do next time then, or are you just going to tell me what we could have done? Here's what you could have done.
No, we'll add it to the list. Because,
okay.
I mean, one of them we did do on the last one, which was it's not exactly a surprise. Team Buddies, that was one of them. But the other ones we haven't done, so I'm just going to keep that folder and just add a bunch more to it for the next time. But yeah, that'll be going up later this week and into next week.
Excellent.
However,
there's already we've got a Tony Hawk's, a couple of Star Warses, and Strange New Worlds. Cal's Strange New Worlds have already gone up. It's like I know that we talked for probably longer than that Strange New Worlds video is, but it's like an hour and a half. Yeah. So it's a fucking biggie. So strap yourself in, and get a brew.
It's worth a watch, though.
To that one. But yeah, we enjoyed it a lot. There's a lot more episodes, and we've got another Strange New Worlds, which will be like the season wrap up that we'll do in a few more months. So presumably we'll get around to those retro shenanigans as well.
There's plenty. But we have been watching some stuff, Dan, including. Let's not make the mistake that I've made every week so far. So, obviously, we've got 3 things we're going to talk about, and I always watch them in the wrong order. So I watch the 2 good ones, and then I watch the slightly one last, and I always go, I should have watched this first and then watched the other 2, because it's a massive letdown each time. Every episode I watch has just been a letdown because of what I've already watched. So,
I see. Right.
In that sense. Let's talk about that first. I'm assuming you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't like the way you've worded that, because it makes it seem that you're talking about Ms. Marvel for a start.
Yes.
And you makes it seem like Ms. Marvel is a bad show, which it absolutely isn't. It's
fine.
Just that when you're watching Obi-Wan Kenobi and The Boys week on week at the same-ish kind of time as well, especially for you, because I know that you kind of build them up over the week and then watch them all in the weekend.
Yeah, I say I'll watch them all on the same day.
Yeah, they're different calibers of like writing and shows, man. Like they're totally different. But Ms. Marvel, for the most part, right. So there's a few things that I'm absolutely in love with. Right, firstly, the dad. Like, her dad, I think, is funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I think his whole character, his acting as well, is amazing. I like the mom because she's, I don't know, she seems like a typical mom rather than like a Hollywood mom who's just sort of like, oh, just get out there and just, she's like, no, the world is dangerous and like you're a minority and like you shouldn't be, like, everyone's gonna fucking, it's like the mom from Turning Red.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She's just I
prefer the one from Turning Red, but
I guess so, yeah.
This makes sense because of the world that it is, because there is all these dangerous things that have happened, but that's not touched on. It just seems to be that she's just massively overprotective for no real reason. If they were referencing all the stuff that's happened.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think it's just sort of like, oh my god, alien invasions and oh god, whatever. It's like, oh no, people will just persecute you because this is America and racism is very much sort of a thing that you've got to deal with.
So I don't think that's like stated well enough if that's the case.
Well, I don't think so far. It's shown that everyone who's been in it is, they're very sort of accepting, and it's just sort of like it's barely mentioned the fact that she's of a certain religion or a certain ethnicity or whatever. But I think maybe it's just because of like whenever there's just like someone of a specific minority or cultural background or whatever, the only thing that ever really seems to get talked about them is, oh, so you're Asian. Okay, so you're a Muslim. Let's talk about that. And it's just sort of like, oh, and then here come all the bullies, take the piss out of you for being it's just always on the nose. And I like the fact that it's like there's a couple of things that just sort of I'm sort of like, oh, okay. I mean, so there's things that I've read about people from the Asian community and the Muslim community, and just like. And again, this is something that we can't really understand because we're not of that kind of age anymore. No. We're straight white male, so we've got no issues. Like, no one persecutes us for anything. And there's so many people who just sort of like, oh my god, this is like, it's so weird that something like this doesn't exist in that kind of like MCU Disney kind of sense, in that kind of way. Yeah. And that representation is really good. So I'm more than happy with. Like the exposure to a different culture that I'm getting as a result of this. But when it's, I don't know, because again, it feels like there's, there's like the brother, for example's sake, he's constantly just banging on about religion. And it's just sort of like, if this was a normal American white Christian family and they kept on banging on about the Bible, like, would people just be sort of like, well, not everyone's a Christian and no one, so calm down. So I kind of give it a pass for like, okay, well, this is like representation that you wouldn't normally get in a TV show, and they're very on the nose about it because that's just how, religious households are. I've really had a chance
to do it.
Yeah. But I don't know, there's, like, I'm not really a fan of, the kind of like the virtue signaling of just like, oh, look how cool and hip we are with the kids and all the memes. But it's like everyone who seems to have been like a writer or a director is like an Asian person who's clearly like, this is something that they want to see in that sort of sense, which I think all of that is great, and I think that it's probably far too long to get to this point anyway for like something like this in the MCU. But that being said, I don't like the fact that her powers are like weird crystal light emissions from a weird bangle. Right? It just smatters of Green Lantern.
I get it from a. We are obviously getting Mr. Fantastic again.
Yeah, so you don't want two stretchers. But then you've got Hawkeye, which is Hawkeye, and then another Archer that he's training to be the next Hawkeye. Like, and let's think, well, it's a very cool specific power set that we haven't seen yet, and then within the space of a year, boom, there's two of them. Like, if there was a Spider-Man and then another Spider-Man, like if you had Spider-Man and then Spider-Gwen, it's just sort of like, oh, okay, well, we've just got that Spider-Man, now we're getting another one. But I just think it's a really, I mean, I guess again, if it's just sort of like, it's because this is like a bangle thing that, tied into her heritage, I'm like, okay, well then, that's fine. But then it turns out she's like from another dimension or something.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
okay,
awakened.
so
It's just awakened the abilities rather than.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so it's just that you just, the only reason that you can do this is because you're from another dimension, rather than like it's a result of a snap, or she's a mutant or a mutate or something like that, and then she can stretch and stuff.
Yeah.
Either that, or it would be cheaper to do it this way than it would be to have her like fully stretchy and like maybe if they go
a hell of a cheaper.
We want to save up all the cool stretchy super effects for when we get John Krasinski in Mr. Fantastic's outfit, and we get him doing all the cool stretchy stuff.
How special is that going to be if we've just had like a year of a girl
of Miss Marvel
with the same powers? It's not. It hasn't got that same wow factor, and it's a pretty bad example. But remember the first time we saw Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the Civil War trailer. And the eyes were like, and you're like, that's ridiculous. That's like really cool. But if we saw that, and then they did it in Sony made a new one, and they did the same eye thing, it's already lost that magic because it's already happened. I know it's not the same. It's not stretchy arms or anything like that. But once you've seen it, I don't know how magical it'll be just having John Krasinski there.
Well, I mean, don't forget that we've already had 3 Fantastic Four films by this point.
Yeah.
So that the sort of the stretchiness and like the
and
thing
they
is,
all
it's
looked awful.
Well, but for the time they looked fine. It's just that they didn't have they looked fine for like 2006 or whenever it was. But if you think like, you know, ILM, Disney, like the amount of money that they're going to be able to put into something like this, they would spend years kind of perfecting that stretchiness. But I think that it wouldn't just be a case of like, ooh, stretchy punch. It'd be like, okay, well, we need it like, it's the difference between like Michael Keaton's Batman sort of fighting, like, hiya, hoyo, hiya, and then Batman Arkham Asylum combat just sort of like flips and gadgets, and it's like, oh my god, this is incredible, why aren't we seeing this? And then you kind of build towards like, you know, gadget inclusion and that kind of like fast-paced stuff. So for Mr. Fantastic, certainly we've only seen him sort of like, he's done a bit of cool stretching, he's like gone under the door and he's opened the lock and that kind of, it's like, oh, that's a cool effect, but it ages horribly. But have we seen him like do any like cool, like is he turned himself into like a T-1000, like, you know, turning into like blades and scissors and like, because he could turn into basically, he's like Plastic Man, like, do you know what I mean? He can like turn into things.
I think the coolest thing we've seen has just been in the Lego games. Like, seems to be a teapot, sure. Why not?
I mean, he does like the face change thing in the new Fantastic Four, like where he can morph his face into like another face and no one can recognise him. Like, and that's a kind of a cool use. But then, how's he using it? Like, he'll spin around someone and tie them up, or he'll just stretchy punch. He'd do a flip and a roll. Yeah. Like, it's fine, but again, that sort of stuff we've seen, like, that's been done to death. So, if they do a Fantastic Four film, well, they will do it, but presumably if it's still Krasinski and Emily Blunt and whoever, they'd have to step it up for that to become spectacular. So if that's the sort of shit they're planning, then maybe they go, well, we don't want someone else who's got the exact same power set, and we, you know, some of the cool like spin kind of cool moves and that kind of stuff, like we don't want to waste it on Ms. Marvel when we've got the ability to, or, you know, there's been 3 attempts and, you know, some okay, some terrible. I can see
them not doing it often. So using him more as the strategist and stuff, and then very limited stretchy things happening. Because realistically, what could you do that, like, there's nothing overly cool that you can do without it looking like it's just a guy stretching.
But that's the thing, like, it's the creativity of the people who are making it. So if they go, well, what if he can, you know, if he can stretch into like, or he can flatten himself out like Elastigirl. Like, again, look at all the cool shit she does. She's basically got the same powers. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, like, turning into a parachute, like, being able to, like, you know, stretch your finger out until it's like surgically sharp and like, you know, doing surgery on someone or something. Do you know what I mean? There's like, but if you take away the stretchiness and then change it for like Kamala's bangle light projection, whatever, whatever you could do with that. So if you think of that as a Green Lantern ring that you can just do anything with, so you go, oh, I want to stretch my arm out over there, I want to create a knife or whatever. Well, he could do that same thing, but with his own body.
Yeah.
So it's trying to.
If
you want the spectacular back out of it, then you just need to be more creative with what you do with them, rather than just big punch, big step, big jump, and then that's it. Then it's all science stuff. But I think that it's I don't know, like the Kamala Khan story from the Avengers game. I already kind of like that setup. Like, she's still a big old nerd.
Yeah.
But, the Avengers are kind of falling apart, and she's, still kind of like, she's trying to assemble that team whilst kind of getting to grips with her own powers and stuff like that. That seemed great. But, like, I think the show is really funny.
It's got some good bits.
I think there's some good jokes in it, and I just think that it's very light on the action side of things. Like, if you watch your Falcon and Winter Soldiers or whatever, there'll be a fight in every episode because they're fighters.
That was also light on action, to be honest. That was a poor example.
What?
Falcon and Winter Soldier, there was like 4 episodes with decent fight scenes.
Yeah,
and
but
then the rest of it was
one
talking.
Of them had one. Like,
some of them had a bit of a chase and whatnot. I think, to be fair, the best one was with Zemo.
But when he starts kicking the shit out of people,
I think that's probably the best fight in the show.
I have to go back and watch that.
Very lackluster. Very lackluster.
I watched a movie with Bradley Cooper and Daniel Bruhl called Burnt, which is it's like a cooking film, and he's great in that. Like, he's such a good actor. I really like him. Maybe I need to go back and give that another watch, because he was good. But I think the show itself is. I think it's funny. I don't think there's a huge amount of action in it, but she's not a fighter. She's literally just someone who's just put a thing on. It's the equivalent of me and you getting it. You kind of learning as you go. But it's, I don't know, like I'm looking forward to, because I thought this was going to be like an Eternals crossover maybe, because like with the weird sort of like magic powers and other dimensions and stuff like that, maybe there's like the potential for an Eternals to pop in.
Imagine the steering clear of it, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
I think it is good, but I just think that if you're watching it in, like, you're watching Obi-Wan, then you're watching The Boys, then you're watching it, well, no, it's not going to be as good as the other two.
That's what I mean, and like for each episode, it has not lessened the experience, but I haven't enjoyed it as much because I'm still thinking about what's happened. Well, that was such a good episode of The Boys, and Obi-Wan was really good. And I do think, even if I watch this without watching anything else, for me, this is one of the weaker of the Disney Plus shows. But
why?
That, I don't know. It's just I'm not enjoying it as much. But I've never been a massive Miss Marvel fan anyway. For the same reason, I'm not a massive Captain Marvel fan either.
Because you hate women.
Yeah, because I prefer men, but
well, we all know that, Callum.
But on the other side of that, I still think WandaVision is one of the stronger shows because it tried. No matter what they do with stuff like Miss Marvel, it's still that tried and tested formula of the superhero origin story, struggling to get hold of the powers. Here's a bad guy. They need to overcome and learn how to defeat them, and she will defeat them.
Best friend who's a nerd.
Yeah, and it's just that tight, and it works. There's no denying it works. But stuff like Loki and WandaVision that tried, here's something different. Moon Knight, here's something different. And I think especially coming off the back of Moon Knight,
Moon Knight was real solid.
Yeah,
that was
on paper. I don't think they did a good job. Just on paper, because Moon Knight it's a very gritty and brutal comic, and this focused more on the mental health side of it. But the execution of it was very, very good, and I do think it was excellent. They've all been good, and including Miss Marvel. I just think it's, I don't know, there's just something I'm not. I'd still give it like 6-7 out of 10. Like it's very good. It's just not up there with my favourites. But then again, I didn't expect Hawkeye to be up there with my favourites, and that was solid.
That's true. I had really quite low expectations. Like between that I tell you what, if you'd lined them up and said like Moon Knight, Hawkeye, Ms. Marvel, like which one are you? I probably would have gone Ms. Marvel because that just seems like I think that She-Hulk is probably going to be, again, I think that's going to be one of the better ones, and I think it's because it's not just because it's the first time we've seen this character, but it's the fact that it's tied so much into like all of the Avengers stuff as well. Like if you're going to get like a Ms. Marvel or a Loki variant or a Moon Knight sort of like crossover thing, it's going to be She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Like somebody who could just come in and just wipe the floor with a bunch. Like, so Hulk fucks off, does space adventures, whatever, and she's just like, yeah, I'll pick up the slack, don't worry about it. Then I'll go to work afterwards.
Yeah. And I'll see Matt Murdock. It's got to happen, hasn't it? It's got to.
All right.
I'm going to be very disappointed if they don't. I'm going to be very disappointed if they don't fix the CGI as well.
I think they've already said that.
They have.
Yeah.
I think it's another Sonic situation. So it's just, we talked about it before. It's not it doesn't help that obviously they're still using the same stuff they had for Mark Ruffalo's Hulk in it. Like, that's all done, that's all set. Like, they haven't got to do anything, and it's movie quality good. And then this is CW quality good. And you're like, it's very noticeable.
It's like if you got Christian Bale's like Dark Knight batsuit,
yeah,
and then you put it in Titans, and like whilst all the outfits that they've got in there are great comparatively to each other, you put like the Batfleck suit or one of like the movie quality, like it's like, oh okay, they're dog shit compared to that.
I mean, I think as a show, like I think that's not too far off with a good quality suit.
It's not as like sort of weird and rubberized as like the Flash or Arrow or Legends of Tomorrow or whatever, because they are just sort of like. Have you seen the stills of the Blue Beetle costume?
I saw a little something a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't look too much into it.
It looks pretty fucking solid. It's just that I don't believe that they can do anything else properly with it. Also, next season of Doom Patrol is out this year, I think.
Ooh.
So that is.
We were talking about that the other day, weren't
we? Like, because we just haven't heard from Doom Patrol for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And now it's on the horizon.
It's back. Now we just need to get Swamp Thing back.
Nah,
it's not gonna happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. No.
Nah, it's a fucking shame though. Real shame. But I think a better example is Falcon and Winter Soldier, where at the beginning of the show you got Falcon's suit from the Avengers, and it looks good because it's the movie suit. Then he gets the Captain America Falcon suit, and he looks rubbery and cheap. And that's within the same TV show. And I get what you're saying now with stuff like Titans, where if you do get a movie quality suit, it will look far superior. But Titans is smart enough to do like 2 episodes a season in the daytime and then all the rest at night. So
yeah.
But anyway, enough about Titans. Where are we going next, Dan? I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Well, I mean, there's either a galaxy far, far away or
an
the
orgy.
worst version of the Justice League that you could ever want to live in.
Or the best.
Universe-wise. No, the worst. The absolute worst. And we'll save that. So let's talk about Obi-Wan, because that's wrapped up now. I'm kind of gutted that they're only doing, or at least so far as they've confirmed, as of this point anyway, they're only going to do 1 season. I think that there's enough there to come back and do a second, providing that obviously the ratings and the critical response, which I think has been mostly positive for it.
I think it's been pretty good.
Is there, and whether they can afford to get Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen.
They can definitely afford to get Hayden Christensen. He'll do it for a bag of Smiles.
After this, I don't know. Like he's had a bit of a resurgence after this.
Well, did you see the picture of him with? So there was a picture of a guy in the Vader suit without the helmet, then a picture of Hayden Christensen, and then a picture and then another guy in a Vader suit without
there's
the helmet.
two dudes who are doing all the suit stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's the
combat
about and
the walking and sitting.
fighting.
And then James Earl Jones does the voice. That's what Hayden Christensen do.
Well, don't forget, he doesn't have the same physicality that David Prowse did.
No, I know.
He's not 6'7" and, you know, absolutely fucking massive. He would be walking around on stilts. Like, that's why he was in the suit, or someone was in the suit for 30 seconds before it ended.
Yeah.
And, like, in the, you know, they'll get Temuera Morrison back for anything. They want to do, you know, anyone who's got, like, a voiceover, you know, like from the Clone Wars or whatever, they'll use all of them all the time. But they didn't go, hey, Hayden Christensen, do you want to come into Rogue One and just be in the Vader suit? Oh, no, wait, because you're not big enough?
No, obviously. But he was only in it for, like, 2 flashback scenes, a 3-second back-to-tank scene, and then the scene at the end of this when he gets his helmet broke.
Smashed up a bit, yeah.
And that's it.
I knew that was coming. Spoilers, by the way, for Obi-Wan.
100% spoilers for Obi-Wan.
So, I don't want to jump ahead too quickly, but when he was starting to get the shit kicked out of him a little bit, like the amount of times that we've seen Vader with like a crack in the helmet and it's just the Anakin eyes sort of like, argh! As soon as he started getting his moves back and he started going for him, I was like, he's going to split that helmet open.
Yeah.
If not, to homage like the other instances where we've seen it, but so that there is FaceTime with Hayden Christensen in the actual suit.
That to happen.
That's the only reason. And then it did, obviously, which is very good. Although, absolute disappointment for the season, he throws Obi-Wan in a big old pit because he cracks the floor under him, stands over it and doesn't go, now I've got the high ground. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Why would you not put that line in?
Vader doesn't do puns.
Everyone was thinking it. He stood up on the thing and then just went, and here's some more rocks. What do you mean he doesn't do puns? Oh, don't choke on your aspirations, Director Krennic. Telling fucking dad jokes in Rogue One. He absolutely does puns.
I don't know. I think it would have ruined the moment a bit.
Nah, I would have been
I think it would have taken it away. I'd have been happy with it, but I'm happy with most puns. But I still don't like what?
It's not a pun.
Him having the high ground.
Play on words, is it? No, it's just a callback.
All right, a cheesy callback.
I realised as soon as I said this is a pun, I was like, well, it's not a pun. So
yeah, of course it's a play on words. It's a play on an event, isn't it? Anyway, we're not getting bogged down on a fucking sentence. I disliked the Obi-Wan turn going super fucking Saiyan. I didn't like it.
I think it was like because we'd already had the like he got the absolute shit kicked out of him. Like he wasn't even close to him being able to stand up to him. And then we saw like over the next couple of episodes or so, he's regaining his confidence in like in the Force. Like he's fighting off stormtroopers, so he's kind of getting his moves back. It was always going to build up to a point where he would have to beat him. You couldn't have the last episode and Obi-Wan gets the shit kicked out of him again and then fucks off and we don't see him for 20 years.
It had to happen, but like I didn't feel like that there was that build up over the course of the episodes when he got there. It just seemed to be that build up happened in that episode because all he did.
No, because he did like the Force, like he was controlling like the like when they're in the underwater base thing, and like he has to hold all the water in until like he can crush it all.
Yeah,
and
he took fucking everything out of him to do it.
Exactly, because he's out of practice, so he's kind of like regaining the strength of his own muscles to kind of get back to it. So by the time that he got the shit kicked out of him again, he kind of rallied and was just like, no. And then again, you've seen the flashbacks where at that point he'd not been beaten by him. Like they even had a 40-minute fight on a lava planet, and he still beat him. And yet, like it was. Like, what they've established through continuity so far is that he is definitely a better swordsman. Like, he hasn't been able to beat him in combat.
He's just better at controlling his emotions. Now, that's always been Anakin's.
Dark Side's always going to lose.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think they put... I think there should have been more episodes to build up to that because it literally went from 1 to 3 to 11. There was no like I don't think I know it was a rush, and I know he has to win in order for it to tie up with, which is why I don't think there'll be another season, because this now retcons itself to tie in with A New Hope, where the last time they met, Obi-Wan battered him, but now he's the master. Yada yada yada. I think the fight was really good, and I did like it. It just felt like he went from Obi-Wan to fucking Yoda mixed with Revan mixed with fucking Nihilus mixed with like every like he just went super powerful for there was no explanation for him to get that powerful at all.
He wasn't super powerful. He just returned to his previous levels of power,
which he's never been that powerful. Name me one.
What do you mean? I just told you he battered fucking Anakin on Mustafar,
as a swordsman,
and then cut his arms and legs off.
He didn't pick up a mountain and then just fucking hold his arms open and just throw fucking rock after rock after rock after rock.
Yeah, but
he's never done that.
That's never really been done in the prequels, though, has it?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that they just because Rey did it with picking up all the rocks and stuff like that.
But that's what I'm saying. He's never done it before, so it just feels massively out of character, because Obi-Wan is he's always been shown to be just calm, confident. He's good. He can use the Force, but even when the flashbacks with Anakin, it's all movement. So he hasn't got his lightsaber and he's just like spinning around him and stuff, and then you'll get the lightsaber off Anakin, and it's just traditional Force moves. But that's ridiculous levels of power that he's never shown before.
A few rocks and throwing them at people. This isn't like
it's
Vader catching a spaceship and smashing it into the ground,
which they've shown him do before. Like all the stuff Vader did, he's done in the past, and the Vader that we've seen would have been able to stop all of those rocks, at least a few of them.
Well, no, because I mean, he's distracted by his own emotions anyway.
That's what throws him
playing
down.
On him.
Yeah,
but he hasn't dealt with anyone in 20 years that can even come close to standing up to him. Like, don't forget the Inquisitors, who are supposed to be like his right hand, his minions going out there and doing stuff for him. Like when Reva finally jumps him, like it's not even close. Like it's barely an effort for him. And no, but again, it shouldn't have been, because no one should be as powerful as he is on the dark side, certainly. But Obi-Wan, there are no other, again, you could just make the argument that he doesn't have a challenge anymore. Like, he's just gotten bored, or he's not as strong as he used to be. So when he comes across Obi-Wan, who's just sort of old and out of practice, he's just like, yeah, you're nothing, mate. But as soon as he gets his skills back, and he's just sort of like, actually, no, I remember how to pull all this shit off now, it's back to the same levels, where he's always going to be at a higher level than him, which is why he can beat him again. Like, it's always going to come down to being manipulated and being emotionally overwhelmed, and then he'll come in and he'll take him out. But the Sith, obviously, or Sith, Inquisitors, whatever, like, they haven't got that kind of training and stuff like that.
They're all fucking
idiot kids. And he killed most of them.
I mean, your Grand Inquisitor, obviously, until you've watched Rebels, can't say why, but...
What's he done?
He's an extra... Oh, in this show, he's fucking dog shit, but the Grand Inquisitor is probably the only one that could stand up to Vader. He's got everything there that's needed. Obviously, finish up where you're at with Rebels and stuff, and then we'll go from there. But that all 100% makes sense if Obi-Wan beat him in the same sense where he was just, I'm just better than you. But this was just overpowering him with ridiculous, mainly the rock thing, because then it just goes into the fire and stuff, which is perfectly fine. Tell you what I did love, I think it was fucking excellent, is the voice modulator breaking.
Yeah.
So when you saw every now and again, it was like cutting in and out. That was real good.
Yeah.
Very,
to be fair,
tense.
Yeah, like, and again, as soon as I saw, like, because there's a bit at the end, like, where he does the, like, because it was just sort of like a big in Revenge of the Sith when he gets the suit and he's like, no, and it's like, oh, shut up. But in this, there's only like it's kind of a glimmer of like when in Revenge of the Sith when Hayden Christensen's just been his arms and legs cut off, and he's just in the dirt and he's like, I hate you. He just screams at him. And then he just sort of snaps back to that when he's got his helmet busted open. Obi-Wan's just sort of like, okay, you're dead. As like, now I think that's why you can justify them not meeting again, because he's like, you are like at your absolute peak. I've been shit and I've completely out of touch and I've still beat you. Like, that's how weak you actually are. And he's just sort of like, right, fine. And I like the Emperor coming back as well. Just be like, just leave it alone. Yeah. Like, we've got way more important things to deal with than one old man. Don't worry about it. But he's still that sort of like, Obi-Wan! Yeah. And he's just he can't believe it. Because again, when you're the only person with a lightsaber, you can beat everybody. And then when you're just like, because he's like a fully trained, like, he's been trained since he was a child. He's fought through an entire war. Like, he's more than capable. So all of the Inquisitors, again, with the exception of possibly the Grand Inquisitor, if there's more backstory there that's kind of shown him as being more competent, none of them are going to be like that kind of level.
No.
Because they're sent to deal with people who don't have lightsabers.
Well,
of course they can come in and just kill everybody.
Even Anakin, because he never surpassed Padawan, did he? He never got made a full Jedi.
He was given the title of Master as like a formality, sort of like, we'll kind of give you the job, but we're not happy about it. But I did like them, sort of that flashback to them sort of having a little sparring match.
Where they didn't de-age him, and he looked older than Ewan McGregor.
I don't understand that, because he still looks fine for like 40 odd or whatever it is.
You can still tell who he is. Like, he still looks good.
But there's a bit, I think it's when it goes sort of first person from like Reva's perspective, where he's got like the hood up and the blue lightsaber, and all it does is just highlight how old and haggard he looks. And do you know, the only thing that I could think of that would make it passable, other than just that they just sort of went, it's not worth the effort and the hassle to just de-age him, that's just how he looks. If they'd have given him like, almost like the kind of like the dark circles and like sort of like, the yellowing eyes.
So he was kind of like moving over to the dark.
Yeah, so he just looks more haggard and that I could have been like, oh, okay, well, they're just sort of, but then again, how do you do it with when he's supposed to just be like a normal Padawan, even though he's clearly aged 20 years since he was last in the same thing with the rat tail and that. It's a bit bonkers that they didn't do it, but for like a 3-minute scene or something like that. It's not a make or break situation, because. And plus, it's not like it's a Mark Hamill where it's just like, oh god, well, we need to de-age in 40 years. Like,
because obviously he's a lot older than he was when Star Wars came out and whatnot. This was like,
although they did a really good job with him when he's a kid in this, because like he just looks exactly like Mark Hamill when he was a kid. That's where all the de-aging money went into him.
They hadn't got enough money for it. It was on Obi-Wan's fucking horse thing and the de-aging.
Oh yeah, that camel thing. That was fun.
Which I think the actual things were like really good until the last episode when he's headed to the things. Janky. I was like, holy shit, that looks awful.
Yeah, like I don't understand it, because like it was just him on it in the desert. Like it should look fine.
Yeah,
but it looked a bit sort of weird and janky.
It was like Blade 2 levels of CGI.
The spend for the episode was just like, we need to get the Vader suit and it's going to be cracked and there's going to be sparks and it's going to be incredible. We got all these rocks that we're going to throw about. Oh, the camel. Oh, just put him on one of those like bull rider things and just put it on a green screen and we're done then.
Maybe that's just what they went with. Like, everyone's still going to be seeing Vader in the head. So
I mean, I went back and watched that about. It was like 4 or 5 times that I went back and watched that. It is an
excellent scene.
The Reva scene, where I was just sort of like, oh, this is like, because this, I think that this is the best Vader that we've seen so far.
Yeah. Easily.
Like he's, but again, it's when like you're absolutely always going to be the best, providing that you've not got anyone else who's got the same level of training that you have. It's
something that like is said often. It's in the films. It's in the Clone Wars TV show. It's in the comics. It's in the books. Obi-Wan said it. Yoda said it. Even Palpatine said it, stuff like, if you can take that emotion away, like Vader's like ridiculous levels, like he's just got like such untapped power. It's just it's the emotion side of it, and not just with Obi-Wan. Like it shows it in the Force Unleashed games. It taps into it there as well, and I know that's what makes him. If you take that away, then he's just another villain. Like the whole point of this is that he's an onion. There's a lot of layers to Vader, and there's a comic that I've not read, but it was brought to my attention last week, where Vader's making his red lightsaber, and he's got the kyber crystal, and he's pouring all of his hatred and anger into it. But what it actually does is it gives him it just opens his eyes to it, and then he realizes like he's made a mistake, and he doesn't want to be a Sith. He wants to be a Jedi. And he keeps the green lightsaber, and he goes after Palpatine. Then he goes to Obi-Wan, and like begs for forgiveness and stuff. And it seems like pretty cool. It was just the idea, like the picture of seeing Vader with a green lightsaber, like it just looked pretty cool. But I've never read it, so
it does sound interesting.
Yeah, it's a good little like a what if situation.
Yeah. But I think that there's like, because again, if you're not using Hayden Christensen, you don't have to get his voice. You just get James Earl Jones to just record 500 pages of dialogue and just say, right, that's it, we don't need you anymore, because everything is just sort of like, you will fail, and oh my god, call that ship over here, and we've got all of that now, so we can just put it on repeat as and when we need to.
Yeah, it's not big monologues,
we need a big dude in a suit, and we can just put Vader in whatever we want to from this point onwards. But this is how he has to be from now on.
Well, he said he wants to do a show, doesn't he? Hayden Christensen, he wants to do a spin-off from this show. I'd be okay
with that. Like from this alone, like just seeing this, I'd be like, yeah, if you're doing that Vader going around, and like that would be the unstoppable Vader, because he wouldn't have to deal with
everything else,
any other Jedi, because he's either killed them all already, or the more powerful ones that he wouldn't be able to deal with are so well hidden away from him, like your Obi-Wans and your Yodas and stuff like that. He's just never going to find them, so he's never going to come up against them. So you could just have an entire show of him just tearing through dudes.
Well, what does tie up? Not overly so, because I'm not 100% sure of the timeline for it, but I was going to send you this, and I didn't, purely because of the podcast, on StarWarsNews.com. And a rumour suggests Cameron Monaghan, who portrayed the lead character Cal Kestis in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and the upcoming sequel Star Wars Jedi Survivor, may be making the jump to live action in the Cal Kestis Disney Plus series.
There's a Cal Kestis series?
Potentially. Potentially.
That's interesting.
We've said this for a long time.
Yeah, but a friend of mine, we were talking about Obi-Wan as a show in general, and where could this go, and there was only a couple of things that we thought would be like an actual good inclusion, and Cal Kestis was kind of like at the top of the list for it makes sense, like timeline wise it kind of adds up.
Yeah, it's after Order 66.
Yeah, you could just get that dude, like he already knows how to do all of the stuff, like because he's mocapped it, do you know what I mean? So I think that would be such an easy transition to get him in there. But again, we've seen Vader go up against Cal. That's
what made me think to bring it up for this part.
In Fallen Order.
Yeah.
And he was nowhere near even worth getting involved with it. He was just like, oh, forget this. Like, but again, it was like he was dealing with an Inquisitor or several Inquisitors, and he's managed to sort of scrappily kind of dispatch them eventually. As soon as Vader shows up, he's just like, oh, this is so out of my league. I can't even deal with this.
Spoilers for Jedi Fallen Order.
It's like 6 years old, it's fine. But he's just like ripping up the base behind him, and he's just like, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, and again, that's when you're the strongest person there. Like, everything is just sort of like, yeah, I'll crush heads and pull starships out of the sky and stuff like that. But the second that you get someone like Obi-Wan who is better than him, he goes to war.
Yeah.
And now he knows that
side though, isn't it?
But it's just like, we trained together, we fought through a war together, and you were still slightly more experienced than me, but you still managed to beat me. Now you've been doing nothing for 20 years, and I've been doing nothing but like killing whatever shit Jedi are left over, and however many children, and snapping necks on the street and whatever. Now I'm the best, and it's still just sort of like, you're not, mate. Like, he will still smack you down.
But I do think if he composed himself more and didn't he's in that mindset where he is unbeatable, and
because who's challenged him?
I don't think it's
all
just
the other Jedi that would have actually could have potentially posed a threat to him. They were Order 66.
Yeah.
They were blown out of the sky. They were shot by 500 stormtroopers, and he just went to the temple to take out the teachers and the children. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm the best."
And he failed at that.
Because you haven't fought anyone else. And the one who managed to survive was your old mentor, and he cut your legs off and your arm and left you to burn to death in a lake of lava. Like, you're not that good. But when you've killed all of the other Jedi, you're de facto the best.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, Reva and Cal should be on a similar kind of level. They were both younglings. They were both going through their training.
Well, he had actual training though, didn't he? She hasn't really.
Well, I mean, she was still going through like initial training, I guess. Like,
she was like
that
fucking
hat on.
Preschool, wasn't it? But
yeah, in essence,
Cal was. I mean, he'd have been older than she was because he was already a Padawan.
Yeah. I think he would have. Like, I think if you'd crossed her over, so because presumably she's going to like now retrain as a Jedi or something or other. So she's potentially just another villain to kill off at some point, or another.
Everything pointed to her just dying because she's not in it. Obviously, she's not in anything else. She was made purely for this show, so it didn't make any sense for Vader not to kill her, and it didn't make, other than the fact that obviously it doesn't tie up with the movies. It didn't make any sense for Obi-Wan to keep Anakin alive again, knowing what's going to happen. But I know obviously he can't kill him.
But no, I would have thought that Reva, with her being so just sort of like nothingly dispatched. Like, he would have just like, and I like the sort of the parallel of like, she's done this to just get to a position where she can, stab him in the back, and it was completely pointless.
Yeah,
because it's just like, what were you expecting? And like, especially like when he just turns around and he's just like, yeah, he used you really smartly, like to get me down here, and like tried to get you to attack me to distract me. So like, genius move, and I'm still gonna stab you, but you're nothing. Like, it's just like, he didn't even have his lightsaber out. He didn't even get it out. Like, he took hers off hers and then threw it at her as well. I like the lightsaber throw, that coming back into it.
That's what I mean. That's how I pictured it should have gone with, like, when Obi-Wan got more confident and more in control of his abilities again. That was the fight they should have. I know it's not as technically, like, it's not a spectacle like the fight that they had was, but that's the kind of way that the fights were between them two. So whilst she's a perfectly good, she obviously is a good fighter, and she is skilled as an Inquisitor, between the two of them Vader's just far superior, and then between the two of them Obi-Wan's far superior. But do you know what I mean though, like that kind of like mockery fighting, where it's obviously one false move and she'll take your fucking head off, but Vader's just like little force pushes, moving the fucking lightsaber out of the way, pushing her to the other side.
There was one bit where she goes to stab him and he just sort of moves out of like she swings and it goes past him, and then she like ignites the other end and he's like, whoa.
Yeah. Like,
I was just sort of like, oh, was he being a bit too cocky there maybe? And he's just sort of like, okay, I'm shutting this down now. Like, and he's just sort of like just tapping her away. It's like someone fighting like an Olympic level fencer or something like that, and you just gave someone a sword and went, attack him, and they're just like, I'll just keep you at bay for now until I can kill you whenever I want to, basically. Well, like, because I get the feeling Good phrasing. I've got the feeling that like when she's like spinning that thing and he just stops it. Like, at any point, I reckon that he could have just lifted her up and crushed her head, and that had been it.
Yeah,
like it was purely an ego thing to be like I need you to know how stupid of an idea this was for you.
Yeah, like a cat playing with its prey.
Yeah, 100%. Like when she loses Obi-Wan and Leia and the Rebel, who I really liked actually, and I'm kind of gutted that she got killed off. But I'm just sort of like, well, again, she doesn't exist outside.
Somebody
of this,
had to.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah. But when like he just storms into that meeting room and he's just got her like that, like there was just nothing that she could do. Like there was just no contest in it. And if they make a Vader like 6-episode special or something like that, I'd say whoever it is that's done all the physicality stuff for this, get them back, pay them whatever they want. You get Ian McDiarmid back, and you put him in the robes, and you can have him cackling and sitting around, and you can. So we've got Hayden Christensen kind of like getting a reprieve and being put into a good show, and like being able to act properly. I say we get Ian McDiarmid back, and we get a reprieve from the sort of the shit show that they had him in with the Rise of Skywalker. And it's just sort of like, oh, it's just big lightning or whatever. Like again, it's like, yeah, it's cool that you've like frozen like 1,000 ships or whatever, but it's just a bit.
But it doesn't really highlight any like Palpatine's like ridiculously powerful, and other than the fact that we've been told that, there's been no demonstration of that really, other than look at all these ships just.
It should be like it's like the corruption. It should be like people just as soon as he's like in full Sith Lord mode, it should be like people who are just even remotely in his orbit would just get like, oh, they just, that's why like Anakin would just sort of go, yeah, maybe the Jedi are the bad guys, because he's fallen to this corruption, rather than just whoever can swing a stick the fastest. Like that's that next level of like, you can't do cool flips anymore, but it doesn't matter because just people just being around you is enough to twist them and break them and turn them to do whatever you want them to do.
Tell you something.
But yeah, overall,
no. Just when you're on about like when Vader's stopping the Inquisitor lightsaber. Something I did like with the Vader battle is as soon as he got the upper hand, the first thing Ewan McGregor does is break the panel on his chest.
Yeah, if you know he's got a life support machine strapped to him, smash it. Yeah. Smash it, because then a second that he can't breathe properly, well, he's on the back foot instantly. Yeah. That gives you all the advantage you need. Very smart. So smash him with as many rocks as you can possibly pick up, yeah.
Very good. So it was just... the fight scene itself was very good, and I enjoyed it, and I've watched it like 2 or 3 times. I don't know, just that OP fucking levels of...
Well, I think that if you think of it like, if that was his sort of like, he's got like one last good fight in him, like because he knows that he's already lost to this guy and he's been dragged through fire. Like he will kill him the second that he gets. So he just has to give it absolutely everything he's got, because probably like during all the Clone Wars and Dooku and all that, like he will be the most powerful person he's ever faced. So he has to give it absolutely everything.
What if
because
that's
if
the
he
reason?
doesn't, he's just so lost in like A New Hope, like because he absolutely can't recover from that.
Yeah, it's like he needs to get to those levels again to do it. He can't reach that, but that's the reason that in the past 5 years,
another 10 years.
Yeah, so because like him using those power levels is what takes him from Ewan McGregor to Alec Guinness. So he's aged like 40 years.
Yeah, because it's just sort of like, man, that was just like I had to summon the spirits of the ancients for that, and I cannot do that again. Like that wiped me out. Now I've got to go and live in the desert. He doesn't even get to live on Alderaan with all the cool
fucking break,
sweet buildings and stuff.
So who does get battered though, Dan? Homelander.
Yeah, Obi-Wan was incredible.
Very
Loved
good.
Loved it every week.
I do hope they do a spin-off though. I do.
Well, this has just got me thinking that like it's like, okay, well, I want them to do, maybe they do like a young Dooku show, or they do like if they just do these like 6-episode stints, or maybe more. They just get Ray Parker back and just be like, do your flips and cool shit.
If I do get a choice, I think it would be this Cal Kestis one. If I get a choice, because at least we can have something new.
We're getting Andor, aren't
Andor's like next month, I think.
No,
is it August?
Might be, yeah. But I think there's another Star Wars one as well. So there's like, I don't mean like Ahsoka. I think there was something else. I can't remember what it was though, to be honest. But I think that if Obi-Wan's shown me anything, it's just like these like so like a Thrawn, like a 6 episode, like this is how they got from appearance in this film to how they ended up here, or I don't know, just something like that. Do you know what I mean? Just like you get, I mean, like maybe get you've still got Oscar Isaacs on hand because he's just finished his Moon Knight show. Mm-hmm. How about you come back and we get you doing a Poe Dameron one, doing sweet fighting? So instead of it's just all shooting and lightsabers, how about some space stuff?
Well, what if we did have a Squadrons-esque show?
Well, there's a Rogue Squadron film, so that's probably going to be the one, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I forgot they're doing a movie.
Yeah, at some point.
It's Wonder Woman director, isn't it? Patty Jenkins.
What, Patty Jenkins? That would actually be quite good then.
I don't know, she also did Wonder Woman 84, so...
I'm going to blame Warner Brothers for ruining that, though, to be honest. But yeah, so I think it was a great show.
Yeah,
but,
excellent.
Yeah. Speaking of, though, The Boys, I've probably had this conversation with about 6 different people, but I don't know how this show manages to stay so consistently good. Like, there's not a weak episode. There's not a season that's any worse. Like, it just consistently gets better and better.
I think it's Anthony Starr. Banshee had one bad episode, and it wasn't a bad episode. It just wasn't as good as
that. Wasn't that HBO though?
No, it was Stars.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Banshee was excellent. I fucking love Banshee.
Yeah, Banshee seemed to have like an HBO kind of feel to it, like money and talent and stuff like that. But yeah, like this season, The Boys, fucking Christ. I mean, like I know that they have to keep on, they go, oh god, we crashed a speedboat through a whale. Like, how do we beat that? How do we make something more spectacular than that?
Ant-Man goes in a penis.
Incredible! What a start to a season! Like that sets the tone every time. So in the first episode of season 1, you had A-Train just destroy Robin. And that's just sort of like, whoa, that's the kind of show we're dealing with. Holy shit. And then, like, when you get a season 2 that's as mad as the first one, and then you get in season 3, it's like, how do we start this? How about a guy shrinks down, goes inside someone's dick, and then expands and just explodes them? Like, I mean, fucking hell.
Gets picked up in a bag of cocaine and shook around.
And then just shook about. Like, it's just insane. And then he gets squished as well.
Yeah.
Just gone. But, like...
So good.
Everything about this show is just... Like, every character is interesting. And it's not just because they're all carbon copies. Like, even, like, the Deep, who's kind of, like, taking a bit of a backseat, like, during the kind of the end of season 2. Like, he had that sort of, like, weird cult thing that's going on. Yeah. And now he's kind of, like, he just doesn't realise, or he's too stupid to realise that he's just being manipulated by literally everybody.
And anybody that will give him the time of day is just manipulating him.
Yeah, and, like now that there's kind of, like, this sort of, like, thing with, like, Huey and Starlight, and it's just sort of, like he's clearly, like, not responding well to this drug, because he's just sort of, like, he's never had power, like, any kind of power whatsoever. And the second that he gets it, like, it's the sort of, like, it will corrupt you immediately.
Yeah.
But I think Butcher's just sort of like, oh, it will fuck you up, but I kind of just need you to back me up. So, like, he doesn't care enough about him to say, like, is just like, absolutely don't do that. That is a stupid thing and it will ruin you, because he actually seems to legitimately care about him and not ruining him. Whereas Butcher's like, well, if you do it, then that's an extra person that I could go up against Homelander with. Which, in paper, that's probably not such a good idea, because he's not a fighter, And then we actually get it. And then we get it. So, like, Soldier Boy versus Homelander versus Butcher and Huey. What a fucking episode!
It's that fucking where Homelander just fucking lays this Butcher to the floor, and then him and Soldier Boy are fighting. He's just like, "Oi!" He's like, "The fuck?"
Yeah, he's like, "Wait, what?"
It's just so good.
That's the thing. Like, he just doesn't see it coming. It's just like it just totally takes him off guard. No, well, yeah, exactly. But like, that's the thing. Like, Sitwell, he obviously knows. Is it Sitwell? The old CEO who just got ousted.
Oh, holy fuck! The guy from Breaking Bad and Far Cry.
Yeah, like he's like he obviously knows, like that's why he's a good businessman.
Edgar,
yeah. I think it's Sitwell or Satwell. Or something like
Sitwell
that.
was Stinger, wasn't it? The woman.
No, that's oh fucking Christ! I can't remember anyone's name, Colin. Elizabeth something. Newman. Have a look.
Stan Edgar.
Edgar.
Madeline Stillwell was who you were thinking of, which is the woman from
the woman. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, so Edgar, he's like, because again, he's a very shrewd, very clever businessman. Like, he knows every secret. He knows what's going on, like that temporary V and all that sort of stuff. He knows everything. He would have called all of that coming up, but Homelander just is like, yeah, well, I can fly and smash shit, so I'm the better person. And he just blindsides him. Like, this thing that is literally like the only possible threat to like his rule. If you just gave like 20 dudes that, they could probably all overpower him.
Yeah, I mean, like it took 3 of them to nearly take him out.
Oh man, when he's just on the floor just screaming, I was just like, oh my god, this is incredible.
But I know from a story point of view, this is the only bit that ruined it for me. So Butcher's lasers are definitely on par with Homelander's from the energy beam fight they had, and then they've got him pinned down on the floor, and they're getting waiting for Soldier Boy to just blast him in the chest. Why didn't Butcher just fucking laser his face off?
Well, because the lasers don't really do anything, though, do they?
We don't know.
Well, yeah, because you see Homelander burn right into Stormfront's fucking chest with his lasers, and they just sort of like burn to skin and that, but she'd heal back from it. It's not like he would have. Like, you need the woman who can explode people's faces. Like, that's who you need on your team to come in there and just. Like, because she doesn't want to try it in case it doesn't work, because he'll go and kill her family immediately. But you bring someone like that along, and then you've got, like, Butcher and Huey and whoever else that could just sort of pin him down, and then you just try and explode his head for as long as you got the chance to until it works. But I reckon that just, like, lasering him, I just think it would be as much of an inconvenience as just him being pinned down. I think he would have still.
I think he'd make it through. I think he'd definitely get through. Plus, it's just then, like, at that moment in time, it's just them holding him down. Nothing's happening. Whereas if he's got lasers going through his fucking head, he's going to use all his energy to not get fucking lasered. And then it doesn't give him that opportunity to then break off him and fly away.
No, I think that would just been like, if they'd have just pinned him down and just lasered him in the face until he was dead, that would have been the worst possible way. This is what I'm saying.
I understand fully why they didn't do it. It's just from that, like, they're there, and especially as he's looking at Butcher, and they're just waiting for Soldier Boy to do it, and then obviously, because I still don't understand what's going on, because he hasn't got those powers in the Soldier Boy doesn't have that power in the comics.
Well, it seems like he's got like an anti-soup.
Yeah, it seems like it takes it away from him.
But so it seems that he can control it, but he also can't control it.
It seems to happen.
So like whenever he hears that
out.
Russian song, he just blacks out and it just triggers it. But it seems like he can just do it on his own anyway. Maybe it's not as like instant responsive, because like he's charging that up for a while before he finally busts out. But yeah, like that whole. Like I'm so surprised that when they went into that house and they were just like, oh, we're just having a big old orgy or whatever. I'm so surprised that the brother and the sister weren't just absolutely fucking the shit out of each other, like in this, like in the
I'm
center
glad
of that, like with
wasn't,
everything else that was going on there.
I will say,
It's just sort of like,
like Herogasm in the comic, like I'd said to you in the text the other day, it's like 5 or 6 issues of Herogasm, and I can't remember her name, but the girl who plays Starlight had put a thing up, and Anthony Starr had as well, which was the warning thing for the start of the episode. And
first time, like, that when it's a show like this, and they put up a warning at the start of it, it's like, oh, what is this one going to be about?
But I don't think it was as bad. I think it was one of the least, like, in terms of that kind of grotesque violence. I mean, the episode before, a guy had a dildo put through his head.
Yeah, but this wasn't just about sort of like violent, like gore, whatever. It was like there was like full nudity, like full
which
frontal
we've seen
nudity,
before, though.
like not in this.
Yeah, we have.
Where?
A number of episodes. There's been a number of episodes of frontal nudity.
I know that there's been like this, like the fellow with a weird floppy penis.
Because the actual thing, I'll read you what she put up. This episode depicts a massive super orgy, airborne penetration, dildo-based maiming, extra strength lube, icicle phalluses, and cursing. Now,
that's exactly what was in there.
Where was the icicle phallus?
There was a dude who like.
Oh yeah. That wasn't that bad. But again, it wasn't that bad. I think the first episode was a bit more shock value than this.
Yeah, that I'd agree with. Like, maybe it would have made more sense if that sort of like, zipping down, going inside someone's penis. If that had been a part of this, that probably would have been like another standout.
Yeah, that would have made
bit
more
that was
sense.
in it.
Yeah.
But then, like, again, that's the big shock. Like, oh my god, this season is going to be just as mental as the others. Like, what do you replace?
It'd have to be something
like,
as outlandish. And I can't think of many things that, I'll be honest.
Exactly, yeah. Like, that's a big... I mean, forgive the terminology, but, it's blowing your beans very quickly in the season. Like, you're not going to get many things that are going to, like, top that. Like, in years, people are like, oh my... Remember that in The Boys where that guy goes inside that other guy's dick and explodes it? Like, who came up with that as an idea? It must have been Seth Rogen.
Oh, yeah,
like,
definitely.
Mental.
That's who it would have been. Story-wise, though, I genuinely don't know where we're going. Like I've said before, they've differed greatly from the comics. One thing in particular, which we obviously won't delve into, but I don't know where it's going to go, and I think they could easily get another season out of this, where when we start going down the territory,
it's already been confirmed.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, we could have finished this by now if they followed the story. This would be your final season where they're getting a one-up on Homelander, and that doesn't necessarily happen in the comics, but just the way that it's, you can like kind of feel it winding down, but obviously they've already renewed another season for it, so we know it's not going to end on this one. We know we've got the spin-off show coming out as well.
Yeah, but do we know that it's not going to be Homelander? Like, Homelander could still get killed off in this season. They ain't going to kill him off. And then
that'll be the end of it.
I mean, at this point, he's too good of a villain. Like, he's incredible. And I think if you killed him off and then replaced him with, like, his son or something like that, he does a bright burn.
Nah.
You're
not going to get another Andy Starr.
But this is it. Like, he's had the shit kicked out of him now. Like, he knows that, oh my god, I'm not the most powerful person ever.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it was 3 against 1, and I think some of that was surprise, because like Soldier Boy got a lot of good hits in, and then he had him up by one hand, and he was going to kill him. He's right as
then.
Strong as Homelander, and then I think it's more the shock value of what the fuck? I've just killed Butcher. Now he's alive and he's got powers. Chewie's naked.
I'm surprised that given how the cast seem to love all of this. I'm surprised that they haven't gone full nude themselves. I'm so surprised that they haven't gone. I'm committed to this.
Seen a few butts. You've seen Butcher's and Huey's butt.
But
seen Annie Starr's butt.
That's when he's wanking over the city or whatever. Yeah, but I don't know. It just feels like the sort of it feels like it's the sort of show and the sort of cast that would just be like, yeah, I'll get naked.
Maybe
that's absolutely
it's mostly unnecessary though, isn't it?
Expected, but
I
think with Huey and Starlight, I thought that was so funny when he just grabs Starlight and teleports her away, and all of her clothes are gone as well, and she's like, "What the fuck?" It's such a good touch that they haven't just sort of oh yeah, and all your clothes go with you as well. It's like, no, the second you do it, naked again. There you go.
There's a lot of really well thought stuff out, a lot of really well thought out stuff in it, and even down to where he's just at the point he knows Soldier Boy's going to fucking obliterate him, but he still wants to fight him.
That's the thing I don't get though, because he's not an idiot. He's a trained soldier, and yet it still takes Starlight, and I think Huey did it at some point, and Butcher's obviously gone, mate, don't. But he still's just sort of I'm going to go in there, I'm going to try. It's there is no situation that you can win that fight unless you dose, which obviously he's either not prepared to do. Or I reckon that if you got Frenchie and he was just right, I'm going to go and get fucking Nina for what she's tried to do. Butcher, give me some of that shit. I'm going to go and fuck her whole operation up. And she, tried to kill Kamiko, and she's probably I've had my fill of running around and murdering people. MM's the only one that I'd just be on a principle value would just be absolutely not.
I think he will,
even if it meant that he.
But I think it'll be against his
maybe
will.
Again if it. I would reckon he'll just sort of just stick him.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe not Butcher, but maybe one of them gets caught, and the only thing the bag's on the floor, then Homelander's got one of them, Kimiko maybe, and the bag's there, and he's just fuck it, and then goes in that way. But
see, I reckon if if they manage to dethrone Homelander, so to speak, so he has to go into hiding or whatever, he can't be in the 7 anymore, and then Soldier Boy's well, I'm going to take over instead then, and you've got Butcher and Huey who are just sort of no mate, we've literally just stopped one superhuman maniac, you're not taking that place, and he either kicks the shit out of them, or they've only got one dose left or something like that, and MM has to step in and take him out. So it's two birds, one stone. I get revenge, and we take you out of the picture as well.
And there's no more V left.
That seems like it's a very much we could just
make some more.
We can write in as much as that as we need to. But where's Maeve though? Just she hasn't been in for 3 episodes.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's heavily implied that Homelander's killed her. He obviously hasn't, but
of course he hasn't.
She's gone to rehab.
But that's the thing. It's not even it's that's the cover story that everyone's told. But we know that she's just in a lab and she's been drained, her blood's drained, and that's what they're creating the V for, or whatever. But for them to just be she's just not in it at the moment. I don't know if that's because they're we don't know what to do with her.
I think it's more
we've got,
of a
Soldier Boy.
Yeah, you got all this other stuff going on to then go Maeve's here and she's being held hostage and this stuff's going on, and it's a lot of stuff to.
Yeah, why wouldn't she get involved?
I'll be honest,
it's A-Train, he's I love him just wiping out that fella.
Had to happen.
It's just I'm just going to run at 1,000 miles an hour and just drag you across the concrete until you're dead. Yeah. Incredible. But he knew that that's probably what was going to happen. So he's probably going to be found by someone in the street, so he's not dead. But if there's so the Shockwave fella, he's already been killed off by Homelander. Black Noir was absolutely not. If he's alive, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And he just cuts his arm open, gets his tracking device out, and he's gone. He just doesn't want to deal with him. The Deep is just like an absolute fucking weird mess. Like, just being told what to do by everyone. Like, there isn't anyone else.
The octopus.
Yeah, that's... I love that. I love that at the end after the house blows up, he's running out with him in a carrier bag.
I don't want to hear it.
Fucking hell.
I did like it when Starlight confronts him and he's talking and the tentacles just like... He's just like... That's funny.
But this is it, right? I think we've only seen Starlight use her powers once this season.
Maybe, yeah. Everything else has just been like eyes glowing.
Yeah, like she zaps Huey, doesn't she?
Yeah, that was this episode.
Yeah, where she just gives him a quick one. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with her, because like she seems to be able to again stand up to him, but I don't understand why she'd be like, right, you get out of here. Like, you can't go up against Homelander with, like, even if he didn't kill you, like a stray punch or someone getting thrown across the room or whatever, it would just decimate you and you'd be dead. Like, you can't go in there. Why did she get involved?
What is she gonna do? Because she's effectively Jubilee in this situation.
I mean, she's still incredibly strong.
Yeah, she is, but not to go against Homelander.
No, but again, it's not her versus him. It's her backing everyone else up. Like, she could just blind him, or like just zap the ever-loving shit out of him.
I don't know.
Like, it's weird that she would just be like, well, you're going to have to leave, but I'm also going to leave. But I'll leave Huey in there, naked and attacking someone who's an absolute psychopath, and that's okay. Like, it seemed that they just needed a reason to just... Because if there was 4 of them, then he wouldn't have got out of there. I reckon.
I mean, they definitely can't finish him off there. That'd be an awful way to go.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that you got Soldier Boy, who's comparable in terms of strength to Homelander. He's like the OG Homelander. Butcher, who's clearly his powers are modelled on Homelander for whatever reason.
And he looks like he's having way too much
he's fucking loving it. And then Huey, obviously, he's got a bit of super strength and teleportation. And they only just scrape it. It's very fucking... There's not a lot in it. And I think, had he been more prepared and aware of the situation, I think he would have fucking killed him easily.
Well, I don't think he would have been so cocky about it.
No, but I mean, like...
If he was like, oh, this is like temporary V thing and Butcher's got a bunch of it. Like, the second he would have seen it, he would have just snapped his neck or something like that, because he's like, I'm not taking the risk. Like, it's because he's just sort of like, what are you gonna do? Like, we've had this constant back and forth, and then when he zaps him and he's like, what the fuck?
That's what I mean, like that was that shock aspect. Plus, I also, like, as Homelander, if you knew, or at least you thought, Butcher had taken this temporary V, the first thing he would do is go after Homelander. And obviously it's not, he hasn't done it. All you got to do is...
Or just do... Like, again, it should be the answer to every single problem that Superman's ever got. If anyone's too big and strong for you, grab them, fly them into space. Straight away. That's the first thing you do. Just whoop! Take him straight to space, leave him up there, or throw him into the sun, or something like that. That's as long as that threat should be there.
Yeah.
But now it's even more worrying, because it's just like, right, okay, so Huey's getting addicted to this stuff. Butcher's clearly going mad. Soldier Boy is on the shortest leash that they could give him, and that's still like he's just one. Actually, fuck off. I'm going to do my own thing now, and there's nothing they could do about it. And now Homelander knows that they're super powered, and they've got Soldier Boy, and they've all teamed up on him. Like, what does he do with that? Like, because he's not got anyone in his corner. Black Noir was the only one, and we saw him make a very swift exit rather than have to deal with it. Again, what's he going to do?
Well, that's the thing, though. He's left with the Z-listers. And obviously Starlight's fucking...
That'd be great if they did like a whole... he does the whole sort of like, oh, I'm Homelander and I need you to help me out sort of thing. And it's just the worst of the worst. Like big dick fella. Although maybe he hasn't got a big dick anymore.
No, he's been fucking burnt.
Oh man, as soon as he came running out with that massive dong just all burnt, I was just like, oh no. Like what if that's it? Does he just have to take it off? Or
I mean, that's his power, so
exactly, right?
No, it's just dead skin. Because obviously before it was kind of like had a mind of its own kind of thing.
Yeah.
The fact that he was carrying it out and it's all just burnt and stuff, it's probably dead.
Like
yeah, maybe it's
like
just
that.
going to be like Indiana Jones' scrotum, then just like swinging around. Not like Harrison Ford, but like he just has to rebrand.
Yeah.
I don't know. Excellent fucking show though.
Do we know how many more we've got this season?
I mean, what we're on now, like 5, 4?
It's 5.
I think it is
'cause
5.
We had 3 right out the gate, and then there's been 2 weeks since then, I think. So it's either 5
or 6. So I'd say between 8 and 10, I reckon. Hopefully more. But I honestly can't remember how many there was in the previous ones. I just want them to keep making it forever.
I kind of do, to be honest. But like it's there's a point where it's just sort of like, oh god, just kill each other already. Like until some new bigger threat comes along. Like if eventually Homelander gets killed and Soldier Boy then becomes the de facto bad guy that's as powerful, but then there's no V, and like what do you do then? Like maybe that could work. But
you kind of just replace him with a different one.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like you just needs to be it needs to be over when he's done. Or they need to get rid of the compound V, and they need to do something weird to be able to like so they can't just like resort straight back to that and go and find people.
There's going to be a reason for it to disappear, or it doesn't work anymore, whatever the reason they do. But this is, even though it's real fun watching Butcher and Homelander go at it, and Huey fucking like just zip-zopping about, teleporting all over the place. I think the best thing they did, like in the comics from the get-go, they've got V, and doesn't give them these, it gives them super strength and stuff. It helps them go against them, but this temporary V is something that they've had from the start, and that's how they take on the soups and stuff. And I've really enjoyed them not having that and having to resort to thinking, how can we beat this person? How can we defeat this person? How do we kill this person? We can't even penetrate his skin. And they come up with inserting it inside his anus, exploded him. But I prefer that side of the boys to they're all hooked up on V going in, guns are blazing and stuff.
Well, this is it. That I think you're right. I think there needs to be this sort of like there does need to be like a real consequence to them using it. Like if you take this again, it will kill you, and that's it. You're done. Or if it was like whatever the source for it is, maybe it's a baby that they're just straining out for thing, and it's like once it's done, and there's no more. Do you know what I mean? Like there's I don't want them to just have this now, because again, no one's a threat. Like because you could just, all you got to do is everyone take a bit, swarm them, batter them, break their neck, done. Next. Like there is no more creativity, and that's kind of where the show is really, really strong. Like you say, when they have to, here's a particular problem. How do we deal with that? Like 50 soldiers and government agents. It's all right. Got a laser, baby. Cut them all in half. It's fine. You're not going to get any of that if you could just do it yourself.
You can just walk in and he's bulletproof. He's got the fucking laser eyes. He's got the strength, the speed, everything else, and it's that Superman.
Good job he can't fly though.
That we know of.
No, he would have gone straight after him.
Probably.
I reckon. Like that's the thing. Like who else can fly?
I reckon Starlight could. Like just firing.
Has she?
No, just like shooting the blast. So it's not really flying. It's more self-propelled energy.
Can Maeve fly?
No, because Like when they have to leave the plane, he has to take her.
Well, how did she get up there?
Him. When they're on the plane and like Homelander's going to let everyone die, he has to tell. Like, he's like, if you stay here, you can fucking die with them. Blah blah blah.
But how did she get up there in the first place?
He takes her.
Why would he take her?
Because that was the mission.
Kill people.
The thing was to go and save them, wasn't it? That like their actual job was to go there and save the people. That was the actual job in hand, which is why Maeve was all about doing it, and then trying to plead with him to like, let's just at least save this fucking kid. And then he's just like, he doesn't laser him, does he? But he's like eyes going and telling everyone to get back, and then takes Maeve and flies away.
So maybe that's his one sort of like get out of jail free card.
I mean, there'll be other people that can
if everything
fly,
goes a bit wrong.
And imagine if the deep goes to like fucking Goku levels and just drowns him with all the water.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, other than being able to swim underwater and talk to animals, there's not any other powers that we've been shown of his. Not like in like
he can seduce sea life.
Well, again, that comes under the talking to animals bit.
Nah, I mean, it's got to be one of these guys, isn't it? It's gonna have to be. Like, how shit's this gonna be if it turns out that it's like it is head popping lady? She just comes and goes pop, and just takes that away from them all.
Well, has she killed anyone that is a soup yet?
You know what? I don't think so.
Because that fella that she
knew him,
blows the jaw off. Yeah, but I don't know if he
and
was
all the people in Congress and
superpowered.
that.
They were just
that's what I'm saying.
People. Then there was like the cult leader who she exploded, but again, he was just a dude.
I don't think she has,
Because it would be interesting, like if she goes to do that and it doesn't work, or it's just like it's like a huge punch rather than like an explosive whatever. Because that's why like she hasn't done it with Homelander, because maybe she doesn't know if it's going to work.
Because with Starlight, she does a little tiny bit to her and makes her nose bleed.
That's really true, yeah. So she just sort of
testing the waters,
wiggles her brain or whatever it is. So maybe she can just do it, and she's just sort of like, but then why wouldn't you just pop his head immediately?
It's worth a try.
I'd have a crack at it from a distance.
I mean, because she can do it from a distance.
Watch him through some binoculars.
Yeah, because she was over the road with at the town hall meeting, looking through the window.
No, she was in there. It was the cult fella.
No, that was outside the house. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was like next to the guy who exploded next to her. Now, what I want to do at some point is actually I want to go back and watch that again and see if her eyes have changed.
Maybe. That's a good point.
See if they show it. So it could, oh no, it was there the whole time and everyone just missed it.
The thing is, though, it seems to like it's not just a head thing, because she pops that guy's. She does his hand.
Yeah, she that's the thing. It's almost like a force blast, like wherever she's looking, sort of thing. So I don't know if she could use that to like even just like knock him out.
Yeah, like just even like take his legs from under him, or.
Yeah, it seems like it should be still very useful to have.
Very much so.
Like a real solid team member, but I'm still not super sure.
It seems another easy out though.
Board or not? What if you could just walk in and just explode people?
You just got to look around. No, I mean I think she does seem to be trying to do things to help. Like say, like she reduced like criminal activity and stuff by like whatever the margins was and stuff, but at the same time. She sold Stan Edgar. She threw him under the bus to protect her daughter, who's also
because Homelander would have just
she's injected her with Compound V, and we don't know what's happened with that.
Properly.
Yeah, she's had the proper stuff.
So, if that's the thing, like if that's still knocking about, if you can get your hands on that, maybe that's what Huey would do. Where it's just like, I'm not doing this temporary bullshit anymore. Like. I want to do this properly, and he'll go and get the real quality stuff. So,
but would he get the same powers though?
Well, presumably, from what they seem to have shown, like, because it's not like you get the powers of a person that's been taken from. It just sort of like, it's like unlocking your own XG.
Yeah, it's just like amplifies
so it's like
what you would have had.
You've got powers, and you've just, this turns that power on, so he can teleport. But like maybe he can fly, or he can set things on fire or whatever. So I don't know, like,
his would be strength.
This is the good thing about this is
it'd be like your Colossus.
So he like turned into stone.
Yeah, I reckon that's what they do with him.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Good.
So he's just like he's an indestructible. Like, so he's like translucent in that kind of sense.
Kind of, yeah.
That would be interesting, yeah. But this is the good thing about this show, is that week to week, this is like, what is going to happen next week? Like, Homelander could just go on a huge killing spree. Like, anything could happen. Like, they're all
That's
unhinged
the thing,
at this
anything.
point. Like, everyone just seems like this close to breaking down.
Because I think it will be interesting. I do think he is going to. I think he's going to take on Soldier Boy, because obviously that's what he's been gearing up to. But no, I'm not going to say, because it's, you're going to read the comics, aren't you, after the show's finished?
Presumably so, yeah.
Don't forget I said anything, because that was just leading into something, but I was like, that's quite a reasonably big spoiler.
Yeah, I think I probably will do. So, yeah, I think so. But I think you're right, though, because it's either going to be, Butcher's just going to be like, look, I need you to back me up, and I know that if I get, so, your morals or your own principles will say, like, no, I'm not going to take that. But if I just give it you or make you take it, then you'd be like, well, nothing I can do about it now. I've got these powers, might as well go and take him out. So maybe you'll like trank him or something like that with a dart.
I did assume that's kind of what he did with when he got him to drink that water, and it actually just knocked him out. But I thought it was going to be, well, now you've got V.
So did I, to be fair. But that's the thing; it doesn't look like it's an ingestible; it's an injectable. Yeah. So like, otherwise, why would they inject themselves if they could just?
Well, that's what I'm not sure where it might go. Like, because say in the comics, like, and they have shown a little bit of it in the show, but like Frenchie is. He's good at concocting.
He's like a chemist, yeah.
And they use him.
Although he hasn't done much of that in the last season or so.
It's
like in his first one, he was like bomb making and.
He hasn't even got his goggles anymore.
That's true. No.
I mean, I think I have said it before, but it's really weird, like, because this deviates greatly from the comics, and it does, but for the better. And I can't think of many.
Do you prefer what they've done with this show?
I've always had a soft spot for the boys. Like I think it was you or Zoe that sent me the trailer for the boys before it started, and I was like, this is an excellent fucking comic. Like, I'm really happy they're making a show about this. And it's weird because I have a soft spot for the boys, because it was like, I don't know, it was just the weirdest things you could possibly think of that you could do with Superman and other superheroes that you'd never be able to get away with, and that's basically what the comic was. But I think in terms of story and character and like, Homelander in the comics is way worse than Anthony Starr's Homelander. But Anthony Starr's has got more humanity to him, and there's certain parts within it, even after everything he's done, you feel sorry for him. And I think that's...
He's still alone.
It's still fucking, like, deplorable what he's done, and just, like, he is a horrid person, but you understand why. And it doesn't excuse his behaviour and some of the things that he does, but then that side of it is just like miles better than the comics. You never once feel sorry for him in the comics.
But that's the thing between like a two-dimensional, just sort of like, oh, this is just the bad guy, and then a three-dimensional of like, oh well, yeah, they are bad, but it's like a Thanos thing where it's just sort of like, maybe I can see where it's coming from. I get why you'd think
they changed that though, didn't they?
I still don't agree with it.
Because obviously because in the movies, it's obviously this is for the greater good. Like, whether you think so or not, this is the best thing to do. But in the comics, he's just trying to impress Death and get in a pants.
Yeah.
So like, well,
I mean, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, they changed it for the better, and it gives you that.
Yeah, you can't explain that away to a mainstream audience.
when he snapped Loki's neck and he's pulled the stone straight out of fucking Vision's head, and he's murdered all these like characters who have been loved for years, but you're still left with that. I get why though. Like, and it's that awkward position that you don't want to be. You don't want to agree with him because he's clearly a fucking maniac.
But that's the thing. Like, once he's done it, and he destroys them straight away. He's like, couldn't deal with the temptation of them.
Yeah.
Like, so that's just someone who's committed to the cause rather than just, oh, now that I can do whatever I want, I'll just do
carry
whatever
on.
I want. It's just like, no, the whole point of this was to do this one thing. I've done the one thing. Now they've been destroyed,
going to retire.
so no one can undo it. Yeah. And live on a farm.
Because that's what he wanted. He just wanted peace. And
yeah. And now he thinks he's done his job.
And they've gone.
It. But Homelander, as a bad guy, like, there is no greater goal than everyone loves him.
He just wants to be loved. And
which I just don't think that even this show
no,
pull
there's
off.
No one that
could.
Like,
like, the only person that would give him any kind of affection was a Nazi. Yeah. Like, that's... And he's just sort of like, oh, God, this is all I've got. And burnt one-armed Nazi.
We got fucking Anakin Skywalker Nazi.
Like, what is this? What is my life?
Well, that's the thing, though, because...
Like, that's the thing. If he just did one decent thing a day, he saved a cat out of a tree, people would be absolutely all over him.
All he's got to do is just be the hero that people think that he already is. And I mean, the girl on the fucking roof... But this is... who he talks into jumping off. It's just like...
Oh, that was so good. Where he's just like, I'm just sick of this. Like, you're my booked suicide for the day that I was supposed to stop or whatever, but just jump.
So I've changed my mind.
Like, because he's like... he's like, basically, I'll jump or I'll push you.
One way or the other.
That's where he's at the moment. Yeah. Like, what a maniac.
But I don't think... I can't think of anyone like better than Anthony Starr to pull it up. Like... I feel nervous watching him. He's not even there.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know how he's going to react. And like...
Yeah. Like
just the jowls when he twitching. You know, such a good actor.
Yeah, his eyes just goes a little bit. And it's just like... But that's the thing. He just turns on that like sort of like fake charm when he's like on the talk show or whatever. But like this is the thing, like... Even in that universe, I just don't think that he's doing hero stuff. I think it's all publicity. It's all movies and merchandise and whatever. And I don't think that... So, like, Starlight's like, let's get stuck in. Like, let's get out there and do good things or whatever. And everyone's like, you can't do that because then your PR, your numbers might drop a little bit if you... it turns out that person was actually someone quite nice who people liked. Well, people are going to like you less because of it. It's just purely just like a PR machine. And I just can't believe that anyone in that universe hasn't cottoned on to that.
Yeah.
To just be like, sorry, what are you doing
exactly? Just infatuated, aren't they?
But that's it. But also, is it a fear factor as well? Just sort of like, well, I'm not going to stand there and say, hey, Homelander, why are you not actually doing anything?
Yeah, why is there still all these bad things happening?
He would send me into the sky. And that would be it. I'd just never come back.
Well, they did it though, didn't they? Because like when they went and stopped the superhuman terrorists, I think it was in season 2, but that was something that Vought had set up anyway. So there's your Avengers style battle playing out, but that was something. But that was
like, wasn't that to sell the whole concept to the military?
That's what I mean. It was all set up like it wasn't like you do actually you need to go and stop these fucking terrorists who are also soups. It was no, these guys. We've done this. So just go kill them, and then we could use this as a means to push to getting Soups into the military. And considering how well it went with fucking Soldier Boy's crew,
I loved that. Where they just on machine guns, they have no idea what they're doing. It's so good because it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's why like Captain America works because he's a soldier. He gets the deal. Like he goes in and he does what he needs to do. But if you just get a bunch of idiots who are just superpowered, and you just throw them into a war zone,
they don't know what the fuck's going on. No.
Yeah.
Again, but like you say, it's obviously it can't be because they're superheroes, but it's realistic, where these are people that have relied on not having to do anything. This has always been the case for many years, and even down to this fight with Homelander, Butcher, Soldier Boy, and Huey. This is like the first time Homelander's ever had to properly fight.
Yeah.
And everything else has just been like, he gets shot, and then he'll fly at him and just destroy him, or he'll laser him, or he'll squash the face. He doesn't need to do anything. Whereas this, he's actually having to fucking take a hit and fucking.
Well, again, that goes back to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Like when you're Vader and no one else even stands close to you, like.
Who'd you think would win? Homelander or Vader?
It depends on whether a lightsaber could puncture his skin. If it could, he loses. He would fly at him and he would just hold it there.
But do you think the Force could stop a laser blast?
Yeah. I mean, it stops the plasma bolt, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's got to be stronger than a plasma bolt, isn't it?
No, I don't mean like he would just like stop it dead. I mean, it would just go around him. Like
so like a Force shield.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it'd like just deflect it out of the way. Or like the lightsaber can stop lightning, can't it? You just absorb that fucker.
Yeah, I suppose. But he's also super fast.
That is probably the only thing. But I think that his ego is that he'd be like, oh, so you're the biggest and the baddest and the strongest one. Yeah, okay, I'll come down there and I'll sort you out, son. Like, rather than just, again, if Superman was just sort of like, oh, this guy's a problem, what I'll do is I'll fly him from space faster than light, so he'll never be able to see me coming, and just go straight through
Go through the ship.
Yeah,
like, that would be the thing. He's just like, Vader's just like, they're just on the ship, and he's just like, we need to go to this planet, and then Homelander just flies through the ship, and they're like, what the fuck?
But that's the thing, like in bloody Infinity War, where that guy's on that spaceship, and he's like, yeah, I'm super powerful, or whatever. But he just puts a hole in the ship. Whoop, he's out into space. He's dead immediately.
Yeah.
Like, again, as soon as all you need to do is you don't need to face them one on one. You go, well, this guy's gonna. It's like what Grievous does, like in bloody. What is it? Episode 3? Where he's like,
no. 2? No, it is 3. It is 3.
Yeah, where he's just like, okay, well, I can't deal with all of you. Smash the glass.
Yeah.
Like it just,
see you later.
Like, yeah. It just like as soon as space gets involved, everyone loses. So I reckon that all you'd have to do is just blow a hole in the side of that ship, and everyone just gets sucked out. Unless you
did it on Beatdown, didn't they? Point. When it was Batman versus Vader. And Batman's captured Superman, and he's got him like a kryptonite thing. And one of the alternate endings is Batman he throws him out into space or whatever, and Batman gets his breathing thing gone. But then it's like a TIE fighter rises up, and then he's just like, he shoots the thing and lets Superman free, and then he just flies out and then takes Vader out. But the other one, he just snaps his neck. So you had the two fingers. But that's a cool one, just to see Batman with a lightsaber fighting Vader with a lightsaber. It was pretty cool. It's pretty good. Until Vader's just like, I've had enough of this. But no, I get your point though. For the, I suppose looking at it in that sense, that's your reasoning there. Like you say. There's been no effort. There's been no contests. Kind of get a little bit lackadaisy with what you need to do, because you don't need to do anything. Everything's relatively easy, and then taking this in with Obi-Wan, then he's like, actually, this guy's pretty strong. And then obviously Butcher, Soldier Boy, Huey. I still think the fact that it took 3 of them and they still didn't do it means that, given if you take the cockiness away, how much more powerful is he going to be?
Well, I mean, like, so Soldier Boy, he's been like in a box for like 40 years, like just being burnt and tortured and tormented, and he's not been able to do anything. Butcher's a brawler, and Huey doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He just happens to have powers.
Yeah,
like, I reckon if you got Butcher and MM souped up and Soldier Boy, that one I reckon would have been a bit more. I think that maybe he couldn't have got out of that, because again, MM knows what he's doing.
He does, but I mean, like they were saying, like Soldier Boy is as strong as Homelander, and one-on-one he had a few good punches in and stuff, but Homelander he destroyed him. And
yeah, but again, I think it's just like he's just been out of play for so long.
I suppose.
And
but he's got the combat experience though.
He has, but against normal people.
Yeah.
Like, again, he would have been the Homelander of his time, so no one would have been... Like, again, so, like, Homelander, he hasn't had to face anyone that strong before. Luckily, he's obviously more powerful than him.
Yeah.
But until you come up against that, you realise that, oh, actually, I'm not all that hot shit anymore. Like, that's why I always thought it was going to be the son that would just come in, like, he's going to be the more powerful version of him.
Yeah.
And he's just going to just kick shit out of him. And
it's
because
too
he's
obvious,
not prepared
though,
for it. Yeah, but that's it. Like, I like the fact that they... I mean, obviously, as soon as it's just like, oh, Soldier Boy is the most powerful, whatever, but he was exploded, and yet we'll never see that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I've seen, what is it, fucking Flashpoint, where they've got Captain Atom that's just, like, in a cage, and he's just, like, charging all this, like, the Atlantean super weapons or whatever. It's like, it's pretty obvious when it's just sort of like...
Yeah, we know it's going to happen.
Someone's being killed, and they're super powered, and, you know, you never actually see him die. Well, they're probably going to be in there somewhere.
Especially in a show like The Boys, where it's not like they're against showing you people dying.
No. If someone hasn't been exploded, they're still fine.
Yeah.
That's what I mean with A-Train. Sure, he had a heart attack in the road. He ain't dead.
No,
Until
they'll figure something out.
Then he's dead.
Yeah, they'll figure something out for it, and even if it's a case of giving him a different version of V that maybe alters his powers or something. But
he'd have to change his heart though. He'd be like, we'll have to get you a new super heart.
They need another speedster that can...
Well, there is already one that...
I know, like the guy that was like taking over from him in the...
it's like orange suit.
Race, yeah.
Yeah.
But, again, I know it wouldn't look as cool, but why didn't he just do the flash thing? It was like... And then just put his hand through him and kill him that way.
Because that's probably a Flash thing.
I mean, everything in Homeland is literally Superman, so it's not like they're against borrowing moves and powers and stuff.
But again, though,
but it wouldn't look as good. That's a much cooler thing.
Them going out and fighting crime and learning their powers. Like, you're the fast guy, right? Okay, we can market you as the fast guy. All you need to do is just do laps around things.
Yeah.
And sure, that's all you need to do. Again, these people aren't going out and actually doing anything with these powers. Like, the only people that seem to be the ones that get killed. Like, the fucking blind Daredevil fella. Like, he seemed to be like, oh, that's quite a competent, looks like he'd be quite useful. Except, as soon as you're up against the most powerful person ever, it's like, okay, well, you're done.
I know, he just destroys you. Ruins any chance you've got to do it in anything.
His life ruined. There and then. Yep. Just over.
Not even also, just being a hero.
Like the woman who's like taken over from the other
Madeline,
one, like
Ashley.
Ashley, like, who keeps on ripping her own hair out.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I think you possibly are the most deranged person. Like, you just like, you know exactly what's going on, and you're
but again, it's a power thing, though, isn't it? She's got that. She's the CEO of the company.
Yeah, she went from like the assistant to just taking over.
Yeah,
and she doesn't want to jeopardize that.
And she knows full well she should tell Starlight where Maeve is, but she knows that Homelander can hear her, and she's like, "No, I can't keep it at this."
Maybe he doesn't. Like, maybe he can, but it doesn't matter. This is like, would it jeopardize my position?
Yeah, this is everything I wanted.
But surely by the time you learn about all the sort of the awful things that are going on, that's when you're like, actually, I don't want to be any part of this.
No, because she's clearly a horrible human being.
But then she deserves to get her head exploded.
She 100% does, but like, this is what I mean. Like, with a lot of the soups, you turn around and go, this is all they've ever known, and they've got this power, and they've got they've been put in these situations, and they've been brought up and taught this is what they do with the powers. Whereas people like her, there's no excuse, there's no reasoning other than the fact that she's a despicable human. And like, even people like Madeline, who obviously she manipulated Homelander most of his life, but she also did it to keep him in check. So it's kind of
as soon as she was out of the picture, he just sort of went.
Yeah.
That really derailed him.
Well, that was his everything, wasn't it? That was his boss.
Whatever happened to the baby?
What baby?
Her baby.
I imagine he killed it.
Well, no, because he kills her, but I think didn't she give the baby to Butcher or something, who leaves?
I honestly can't remember, you know.
Because what if?
Because obviously he lasers her face off, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that Butcher gets the baby and then takes the baby away, which is why he leaves. Because he's set a bunch of C4 up or something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but what if that baby is the source of the temporary V?
Potential.
Because it just seems weird that they were just sort of they had a baby that was not killed by Homelander, and then we would just put it in the bin or something.
Honestly, I can't remember. Must have to go back and watch it. Back end season 2.
I mean, there's always a good reason to do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that was as good a time as any. But speaking of time, though, Dan, this has gone on for quite a while. We're over the 2-hour mark.
Yep.
So, if you haven't watched The Boys, we've spoiled most of the seasons. But excellent shows on Amazon Prime right now. And new episodes on a Wednesday. No, Friday. Fridays.
Wednesdays is Disney Plus stuff.
Yes. I've got nothing else though, Dan. So if you want to see more, head over to podcastversusplayer.com, youtube.com/podcastversusplayer. All the socials and that are all going along the bottom as we speak. And check us out on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon and Google podcasts, and any way you can get a podcast, you can get this podcast. So help us out, give us a listen. Dan, you got anything you want to chuck in at the end?
Nope.
No? So we go pop some heads? Let's. Get your penis
Any
out.
excuse.
Bye.
Nah.